Yo, what is up everybody? Chris here from Big Sports News, bringing you guys a quick preview of what to expect going into today's matches. Now we kick things off with the Boston Breach taking on the London Royal Ravens. Just a quick precursor, I'm keeping this pretty quick because I wanted to record this early this morning, but I had car troubles. Literally had to push the car to safety. Battery died, so what are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to push it. The thing that makes it difficult is that I have COVID, so I felt terrible the whole time, but you know, man's got to do what a man's got to do sometimes. This is my flu game video right here, and hope you guys show some love and enjoy it. I'm really committed to getting this content out to you and just keeping the library going, so hope you guys appreciate the love that I'm showing your way, and I hope it comes back in some facet, right? So without further ado, let's get right into it. So looking at the picks and bans, I'm thinking that's a BO3 throwback if you were here during that time period. I'm thinking that the Ravens likely ban Embassy. They don't like playing Embassy. They banned it 5 times. I'm thinking that they choose Hotel. They like playing Hotel. They picked it 3 times, decidedly. That's the highest frequency between Hotel and Fortress. And they're decent at it, but I think they will want to square up against the Boston Breach on Hotel because they don't really like to play Hotel, even though they're pretty solid at it, or they have been in the past. And on the Boston Breach side, I think they banned Hydro. They don't like playing Hydro, clearly. They've picked it 5 times, but they're 4-5 on it, and the Mutineers are 3-1 on it. They love playing Hydro, so I think they'll ban that one. Conversely, I think that the Boston Breach will pick the Fortress because the Mutineers are pretty good at it, decidedly, but I think the Breach will do a straight-up square-up on that map. They looked great on it last night, and I think they'll try to recreate magic a second time. And then in the S&Ds, I think that the London Royal Ravens will likely ban Embassy. That's like their insta-veto. And then on the Boston Breach side, I think they ban Mercado. They don't really like to play Mercado that much. So I see a Hotel getting through on the Ravens side. And then on the Breach side, I see Fortress getting through. That's a map that they love and a map that Mutineers hate. So in the control, that would mean that we likely see a CLO getting banned by Mutineers and Hotel getting banned by Breach. They're not a big fan of Hotel control. If Breach don't ban Hotel control, then I see Mutineers banning that. And then I think Fortress gets through either way. So I think we get a Fortress. But as it stands, I think it will be a 3-1 in favor of the Breach. I liked what I saw from them last night against Toronto Ultra, a really good team. So I'm going to definitively go and say 3-1 for Boston over the London Royal Ravens. And then our next series, Faze up, you know what time it is. Getting right into the vetoes. I'm thinking Faze pick Embassy HP. That's one of their favorite hardpoints in the game, along with Hotel. They have a great record on it as well. And then the Mutineers, I think they pick Hotel. It's not really a strong record for them, but it is a map that they can square up against Atlanta on. Atlanta is 3-5 on it, so it's a map that they definitely look beatable on. And then on the side of Atlanta Faze, I think they ban Hydro. I don't think they like to play Hydro. They ban it 9 times. And then on the side of the Mutineers, I think they ban Mercado. They're 0-6 on it, and Faze is 5-2, so pretty straightforward there. On the side of the Mutineers in S&D, I think they ban the Embassy, and I think our map 2 is a Fortress. And then on the Atlanta Faze side, I think they ban Mercado, and because the Mutineers are 3-0 on it, and they're 2-0 on it, so no point in squaring up on a map you're both good at, when you could play Hotel, a map that Mutineers are not great at 1-2. So I think it'll be a Hotel map 5. And then for the control, I think Faze ban El Asilo. They have never really looked too comfortable on that one. And then the Mutineers likely ban the Hotel. They're not very comfortable on Hotel in comparison to a Faze team that's 8-4 on it. And then I think Fortress makes it through. Both teams are pretty bad on that, so I think it'll be a pretty straightforward square up. And in this series, I think it will be a 3-0 for Faze. Just hard to bet against them given how good they looked at the major. I mean, the Mutineers are a new look roster, so maybe they upset, but I'm not going to put too much faith in that right now, considering how Faze looked online and on land. Now, our next series will have Optic Texas taking on the LA Guerillas, and we haven't seen this matchup in a while, so this is going to be interesting. Of course, Dan Ghosty is in the roster in place of Scump from before. Illy from before. Too many roster changes on the Optic side. So we'll see how Dan Ghosty does in his first pro match. I'm thinking that the Optic Texas guys ban Embassy HP. They are 1-5 on it, and the Guerillas, that's their bread and butter. That's one of their best hard points. So I think they ban that one. I think Guerillas ban Hotel hardpoint. That's Optic's best hardpoint. And then I think they square up on Hydro hardpoint and Fortress hardpoint just because Fortress is weak for Optic, they're 0-2. It's okay for the Guerillas, they're 3-3. And then Hydro is a strong map for both teams, sitting at 3-1. So in the S&Ds, I'm thinking that Optic banned the Hotel. They've never played Hotel in the CDL thus far. And then I'm thinking that the Guerillas banned Mercado. Optic is 4-3, Guerillas are 0-3. So I think the two maps that make it through are Fortress on the Optic Texas side, which will likely be the map 5 since they're the higher seeded team. And then the Guerillas would choose El Asilo for map 2, a map that they are very comfortable on in S&D. A lot of close games, a couple chokes, but I think they can clean it up and possibly take it in the series. That means the Control would likely see an El Asilo ban from the Guerillas. They don't like playing that map. They're not too great at it. And then on the Optic Texas side, I see them banning Fortress. They're 0-2 on it. They have not won this season. So I think they score up on Hotel, a map that is a pretty 50-50 for both teams. Both have quite a few losses and a couple of wins. So I think this series will be a really interesting one. I think it's a 3-2 in favor of the Optic Texas boys. I feel like Ghosty will definitely have a good series, but I think that the LA Guerillas are a formidable team, and they will definitely take them to the brink. Now, looking at our last series of the day, we have the Minnesota Rokkr taking on the Seattle Surge. Getting right into the vetoes, I think this is going to be a great series, possibly series of the day. And I had to double veto. I'm thinking that Seattle veto Hydro. As you guys can see, they vetoed it 16 times. And then I'm thinking that the Rokkr vetoed Mercado. They vetoed it 7 times. So I'm thinking that they square up on... Oh, Lord, I didn't make my picks. Oh, no. So let's just do this on the fly, ladies and gentlemen, live pick here. I'm thinking that the Surge choose Fortress. That's a map that they love. Minnesota's not a big fan of Fortress in terms of their record. And then I'm thinking Minnesota take Hotel as their pick, just because Seattle is 5-5 on it. They look kind of beatable, and this is Minnesota's best hardpoint. So the map 2 S&Ds, I did get those. I'm thinking that the Surge banned Hotel. They banned it 8 times in total. Pretty straightforward. That seems to be their auto veto most times. And then the Rokkr, they banned Mercado 8 times, so I think that's pretty straightforward. And in terms of where they square up, obviously Rokkr is higher seeded, so they get their hardpoint pick first. So I'm thinking that we get map 1 Hotel and then map 2 El Asilo for the Seattle Surge boys. That's their best S&D, which isn't saying much, but they've won twice there, so a little bit more encouraging. And then on the Rokkr side, I think they pick Hotel. As I'm thinking that the Seattle Surge will likely ban El Asilo. They have banned that 11 times. And then I think on the Rokkr side, I think that they will likely ban the Hotel. They banned that 14 times, so I don't think they like that one. And I think they square up on Fortress. And in this series, I think it's going to be a barn burner. I really think Seattle likely take both hardpoints. That's their bread and butter game mode. I think Minnesota 2-3-5, and I think that's how they win this series. I think that's their best win condition. And they won both hardpoints yesterday against obviously a really strong a strong New York Subliners team. So I think it'll be a repeat, but I think they get it done in 2-3-5 fashion this time, kind of surprising people, but Seattle is a really good hardpoint team, so I think when they square up, it'll be a clear Seattle advantage. But yeah, enough rambling, trying to keep this quick, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Once again, this is Chris with Big Sports News, and I'm signing off. See you guys tomorrow with more mocks and more series predictions. So hope you guys enjoy the COD today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.